Citizens' rights in Saudi Arabia. The case of Guantanamo Bay looks like an exception, for it involves the government of one country denying rights to citizens of another country. Let us therefore look at the case of Saudi Arabia and the position of the citizens with regard to their government. Consider these facts. The country is ruled by a hereditary king, and the people have no rule in electing or changing their rulers. So it is not people, there is no fair and free election. The king elects the legislature as well as the executive. He appoints the judges and can change any of their decisions. Citizens cannot form political parties or any political organization, and media cannot report anything that the monarch does not like. There is no freedom of religion. Every citizen is required to be Muslim. Non-Muslim residents can follow their religion in private but not in public. Women are subjected to many public restrictions. The testimony of one man is considered equal to that of two women. This is true not just of Saudi Arabia. There are many countries in the world where several of these conditions exist. So, ethnic massacre in Kosovo. You might think that this is possible in an absolute monarchy, but not in countries which choose their rulers. Just consider this story from Kosovo. This was a province of Yugoslavia before it split. In this province, the population was overwhelmingly ethnic Albanian. But in the entire country, Serbs were in majority. A narrow-minded Serb nationalist, Milosevic, pronounced Milosevic, had won the election. His government was very hostile to the Kosovo Albanians. He wanted the Serbs to dominate the country. Many Serb leaders thought that ethnic minorities like Albanians should either leave the country or accept the dominance of the Serbs. So, like we discussed about the case in Saudi Arabia, we also discussing about the case in Kosovo. Saudi Arabia, where it is basically, it is a monarchy. The people don't elect the king, and the king elect the legislative as well as the executive. They elect the judges, and media cannot report anything that is not liked by the monarch, and a verdict or a say of a man is equivalent is considered equivalent to that of the two women. And there is no freedom of religion. Every citizen has to be Muslim, and non-Muslim residents can follow the religion in private but not in public. So in Kosovo, there is this. There was a province of Yugoslavia before its split. In this province, the population was overwhelmingly ethnic Albanian, but in entire country, Serbs were in majority. So a narrow-minded Serb nationalist, Milosevic, had won the election. So his government was very hostile to Kosovo Albanians. He wanted the Serbs to dominate the country. Many Serb leaders thought the ethnic minorities like Albanians should either leave the country or accept the dominance of the Serbs. So this Albanian ruler didn't like the this Serbs ruler didn't like the Albanians. So they wanted that either they should leave the country or they should accept the dominance of the Serbs. This is what happened to an Albanian family in a town in Kosovo in April 1999. 74-year-old Batisa Hoxha was sitting in her kitchen with a 77-year-old husband, Izzet, staying warm by the stove. They had heard explosions but did not realize that Serbian troops had already entered the town. The next thing she knew, 5 or 6 soldiers had burst through the front door and were demanding, "Where are your children?" They shot Izzet 3 times in the chest, recalled Batisa. With her husband dying before her, the soldiers pulled the wedding ring off her finger and told her to get out. "I was not even outside the gate when they burned the house." She was standing on the street in the rain with no house, no husband, no possessions but the clothes she was wearing. This news report was typical of what happened to thousands of Albanians in that period. Do remember that this massacre was being carried out by the army of their own country, working under the direction of a leader who came to power through democratic election. This was one of the worst instances of killings based on ethnic prejudice in recent times. Finally, several other communities intervened to stop this massacre. Milosevic lost power and was tried by the International Court of Justice for crimes against humanity. So in the next class, we'll start with rights and democracy.